Hello, welcome to Marco on Markets. This channel is for educational purposes only and shares my personal opinions and investment process. Nothing in this video should be taken as financial product advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any investment. Always do your own research and consider obtaining advice from a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, 4th of August, 2026, 3:56 p.m. Market's about to close. Generally, it was a more positive day on the market. Let's have a look at the All Ordinaries. So it started, the indicator was flat from NAB this morning, and it did end up 1.3 positive, mainly led by the banks from memory. We'll go to the banks watch list. Okay, so we had the highest bank was NAB with 2.64% increase. Macquarie followed not far behind with 2.6%. ANZ 2% higher. Westpac 1.8%. Commonwealth 1.7%, and the minor banks a little bit less, but generally all positive. And that really pushed up the ASX 200, the All Ordinaries. Just having a look at my approved list of stocks. So I didn't complete a purchase today. None of the ones that I was watching got into a range. I mean, in hindsight, I should have purchased yesterday and I would have made margin on both Aristocrat and also Commonwealth between yesterday and today. I don't have the crystal ball. I can only go off the graphs. Let's have a look at Commonwealth. I really struggled with that, getting to $180. It's always going to look easy after the fact. So if I have a look at sort of the last 3 months or so, it hadn't reached 180. It needed to exceed that, which it did today. I would have had full margin. That is a downfall with my method of choosing stocks that have fallen on the hope that they regain, as opposed to jumping on stocks that are increasing and going on with that increase. So you have to find a method that you're happy with and that suits your personality. But at this stage, I've still got my 3 parcels that I'm holding, and I didn't make any transactions today. I've just got this one holding, AX1, which is Accent Group. It did fall today by 1%, so nothing much has changed there. I'll just go through the ASX 200 list and see what the 5 leaders and 5 fallers were throughout the day. I'll merge that list. And then so for the losers, we've got Viva Energy down 3.5%, TLC, which is, pardon me, Lottery Corporation. So that's a gaming. They were down 3.4%. Ampol down 3.3%. Tabcorp Holdings down 3%. And the last one was PDI, which is Predictive Discovery, which is a gold stock, and that's down 2.2%. So we're seeing the fuels falling off. And then on the higher side, we've got DroneShield, sorry, not Drone Technologies, DroneShield up 15.5%. That stock has really rallied. I know I've mentioned it a few times in the last few days, but as you'll recall, it did drop away from around the $2.10, $2.12 mark on Thursday last week, and today's Tuesday. By Friday close, it was down around 20%. And yesterday it put on around, I'm going to say 7 or 8%, don't quote me. And then today it's up a further 14%. closing at $2.09. So we'll just put the measuring stick on that movement. So from just last week, I think I was talking about the 27th to the bottom. Yeah, it was down 18%. And then from here, get rid of that now, from there to there, from the bottom till today, it's put on 23%. So very volatile stock. It is surprising that that is in the ASX 200, but there you go. So that's Drone. Life 360, that's up 10%. I think that also had a big increase maybe yesterday, or maybe I'm getting confused with this morning. If we just have a look at the last 5 days. Yeah, oh no, so that's today. Yeah, it did have that spike up in the morning and it did go on to grind higher. So from close to open, it was roughly 5% from yesterday. And then from open till close today, it was, I'll have to bring this back, around another 4%. So increase there. So that's a pretty good turnaround for 360. And how does that look on the long term? 360 is a tracking software. Well, it's not called that, but you basically, it's good for parents to track their kids where they are. I think it's done via their phone, like a phone app, but you can also communicate in between the families and stuff like that. But since 2001, January, it was $3.95. It's been as high as $55, and today it is 28, roughly around that $28 mark. So look, it's got a fair bit of movement in it. Most of the action has been, I would say, from around January 2024. So that's all good there. What else did we have? We had ZIM, which is Zimplats Holding. They do non-gold precious metals and minerals. That's up 8.93%. Electro Optic Systems, they do aerospace and defense. So that's similar to the DroneShield, I would say, because DroneShield does obviously drones, but they've got some contracts with militaries around the world. Medical, 4D Medical is advanced medical equipment. That's popped up a few times in the last sort of couple of days as a big mover. So yeah, just go back to the market. And yeah, so it's going to close around that 1.34% up on the All Ords, which is a very positive day. So it was unexpected. It was showing flat. We did have a rally overnight in the US. If I just go to my overseas stocks, I'll just point out, excuse me, I'll just point out some of the big movers there. And what I'm noticing is like some of these big stocks are moving very large amounts, like Meta was up 6%, Microsoft up 4.9%, Google was up 4.8%, Amazon 4.5%. And yeah, we're just seeing some really big moves. The other day we had Microsoft was up like, I'm going to say it was like 15% or something. And conversely, on that same day, I think Meta was down around 6%. So yeah, we're just getting some really big movements in one day often. And especially for big stocks, it's pretty amazing to watch. So that's a positive and a negative. Obviously, if you've put put your money into a stock and it drops 15% or 10% overnight, it's not a good feeling. And conversely, if it goes the other way, well, of course you're going to be happy with that. And yeah, no one's got that crystal ball, so it's just a risk in investing is the volatility. And I think a lot of people that go into retirement struggle with that, especially if they experience the downside, because they might retire with, say, $1 million in their superannuation or investments, and then overnight or in a short period of time, they might see a drawdown of 10%, which is quite significant. So you have to be ready for that. Other than that, I think that's a wrap for today. I hope you had a good day, and I hope you were part of the positivity in the market. At this stage, I don't have any purchases in the pipeworks as the items that I had been, sorry, the companies that I had been eyeing off have increased. The only two I can sort of see is maybe Coles, if that drops a bit more, as well as Wesfarmers, if that drops a bit more. But at this stage, the market's quite inflated for my appetite. And we'll leave it there. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.